Call me Jack. Jackass. Jack of all trades. Jackanapes. Jack Daniels. Jack off. All of those apply to me to some degree, but Jackal is the closest to how I see myself. I'm a grifter and a con artist. Mostly online scams, but I used to steal cars pretending to be a valet, or get invited into McMansions in the guise of an internet provider. I've signed up plenty of wealthy older women to sponsor a child in need of books for school. I'm still in communication, actually, with a woman named Martha, who has spent years supporting little D. Sean and putting him through junior high and high school. D. Sean is starting college at Harvard in the fall, all thanks to her generous sponsorship. He sent her a very sweet letter with a picture from his high school graduation, culled from someone's Facebook page. Luckily, Martha is not wise in the ways of the internet. She loves that Deshaun cares enough to send handwritten letters. But hey, sadly, poor Martha might not be getting letters from Deshaun much longer because it looks like he's going to meet a terrible, tragic end. Said tragedy is the reason I'm writing this post. Truth doesn't come easy to me, but I'm bearing it all in the hopes that you'll see my sincerity and that this isn't some elaborate grift. What would I get out of it anyway? I don't need money. I've got money. Like the title says, I've got $1 million. Well, minus about 100,000 I've already burned. In my defense, hiring a private jet and all those train and plane tickets were spendy, not to mention the assassins. Oh god, it does sound like I'm making this up. Okay, let me back up. Hi, I'm Jack, and I need your help. 3 days ago, a gorgeous lady contacted me online offering me $1 million for the chance to hunt me. Yes, you read that right. I assumed it was some sort of scam. Her profile picture looks a lot like my catfishing ones. All curves and windswept hair, and smooth buttery skin. And have I mentioned curves? Legs for miles. You get the idea. One thing leads to another, and soon I'm agreeing to meet her in a CVS parking lot. And before you say, Jack, seriously, she's a scammer, duh. But I mean, how else am I going to learn what this new scheme is if I don't play along? I've never heard of paying people to let you hunt them. And I mean, obviously, I'm going to take precautions and not give up anything. Got nothing to give anyways. I'm so poor my pockets have holes in their holes. But heck, if there's a new way to grift people, Jack here sure wants to know it. Anyways, the CVS has lots of foot traffic, so an in-person meeting is nothing to worry about, despite the high degree of weirdness. There is one thing that sets my jackal senses tingling though. It happens right at the end of our exchange. Coyote Wiley. KK, 10 a.m. CVS parking lot. Lady Blood 2023. See you soon, Jack. I never told her my name. Right. So, obviously, whoever's behind this Lady Blood persona is a better hacker than I am. Having somehow gotten my deets even though I keep all my accounts pretty anonymous. It's never a good idea to walk into a situation knowing less about your opponent than they know about you. Essentially, you're playing an open hand, which unless you're the dummy, is a terrible way to play. You're all but guaranteed a loss. But since I don't even know the game yet, I'm willing to suffer a loss in order to sniff out potential new opportunities. I make sure to get to the CVS plenty early and browse the shelves while keeping tabs on the parking lot. And then suddenly, she's there. She looks exactly like her photo. A slim, dark woman in a flowing red dress Wavy hair, amber sunglasses. Like a walking Prada advertisement. My jaw drops to the floor. In her hand is a silver suitcase. I'll be damned, I mutter. Yes, damned indeed. An exclamation that, when I look back on it now, seems hysterically on point. Heavy emphasis on hysteria. Oh god, I'm so fucked. Sorry. Okay, back to the story. I head out to meet the mysterious lady in red, mostly thinking dumb thoughts about how I should have got a haircut because I look like a mess. Good thing I have a hat. Hats are sexy, right? Haven't shaved in days, and normally I like the scruffy rascal look, but she is so classy. I wish instead of bristles I had a proper goatee. I mean, been on T how many years, and the best look I got is unshaven coyote? And oh golly, she's turning this way. She flashes a brilliant white smile. Jack. Lady. And obviously she's a paid actor. Gotta be. Still, very effective. Even knowing she's here to make me believe in whatever scam this hunt is, I can still feel myself wanting to come to heel and wag my tail. She invites me into a nearby camper to look over the contract, and I hesitate for a fraction of a second, my jackal senses tingling. But curiosity gets the better of caution. The lady and I sit at the small table inside. The RV has the fresh new smell of a rented vehicle. No personal touches. It strikes me that it's been rented solely for the purpose of having a private space to meet with me. Very elaborate. Kind of a lot just for her to approach a small timer like me. This should set off red flags, but I'm still too intrigued by the suitcase. And, let's be honest, those curves and the way she fills out that dress in all the right ways. She opens the suitcase so I can see the cash inside. It's the cash that catapults me from what feels like the real world into the surreal. It is actual cash. The smell of actual cash is pretty distinct. I feel higher than if I just inhaled coke. The bills are not counterfeit. I've dealt with counterfeit. My instincts are usually pretty good at telling me what I'm dealing with. Right now, those instincts are telling me that not only is that $1 million real, but that I should get the hell out of here. But oh, that's a lot of money, and I'm so curious. She passes over the contract. I skim it, look at her to see if she's kidding, and then read it again and again. By the third time, I have it memorized. It's exactly like she messaged me about. She pays me $1 million to hunt me. If she catches me, she will end my life. There's no small print around it or anything. It's right there. But if I can evade her for 2 weeks, I'm off scot-free and get to keep whatever's left of the $1 million that I haven't spent. What's more, there are heavy restrictions on how she must conduct the hunt. No drugging or poisoning me, no restraining me via ropes, handcuffs, locks, traps, etc. I must always be free to move unhindered. She may not kill me in my sleep or by stealth. Before any assaults, she must make sure I am aware of her approach. Only she may conduct the hunt, no surrogates or assistants of any kind. She may not use any weapons against me, only bare hands. It's a list so restrictive as to render me virtually unkillable. I almost laugh. What is this? She smiles. The rules of the game. I just look at her for a moment in disbelief, and then at the money. That cool $1 million. I whistle. Considering the money? and then her. I mean, even in the most dangerous game, the wackadoodle hunter uses a gun. She's tall, a bit taller than me actually, but slim. I assess her up and down and decide she can wrestle me anytime. I can probably take her if it comes to it. Actually might welcome the physical tussle. I decide her terms are fair. I mean, not really fair. Crazy. But come on, what's she gonna do? Scratch my eyes out? Well, her polished nails are pretty sharp. Eyeing them, I slightly reassess and decide I'll wear glasses and a thick jacket. But then, yeah, sure, I can take her. Bring it, lady. I've just signed the dotted line when she grips my wrist. Oh, hello. She smiles. I smile. Her thumb rubs the inside of my wrist and it's very nice. She licks her lips. Then her thumbnail lightly grazes my skin and then suddenly digs in. I yelp, trying to jerk back, but the lady is surprisingly strong. She holds my wrist and tells me to give her my other hand, which I do. What can I say? I'm a puppy dog when a lovely lady bosses me around. More, please. She presses my thumb into my bloody wrist and then my thumb to the paper right next to my signature. Okay. Weird. Kinky? Is it bad that I like it? Then she hands me the suitcase. I'll give you a 12-hour head start, Jack. Don't disappoint me. I just have to keep out of your reach for 2 weeks. That's it. She smiles. I'm a real good hunter, Jack. What if I want you to catch me? I say, flashing her a flirty smile. Her stare turns flinty, in an expression I can best call predatory. Well, let's just say none of the others liked it very much when I caught them. Others? I say. Ugh, so you played this game before. I'm not sure if I'm worried or disappointed. I was hoping I'd be your first. Oh. She laughs. You're far from my first, Jackie boy. Okay. She's definitely flirting now. How long did it take you to catch these previous contractees? She leans her chin on her hand, pouting. 12 hours. Huh. I smile. Well, I think I can do better than that. I sure hope so, Jackie boy. It's why I picked you. You're clever, rarely caught. And when you are, you just disappear and reinvent yourself somewhere else. It's worked so well for you until now, but Jack, I already know all there is to know about you. I did my research, so don't be lazy about it. Give me a challenge, please. Is it bad that in that moment I almost wanted to let her catch me, just to see what she was going to do to me? Oh, I regret it now. Lord help me, but how deeply I regret it now. Past me was such a total fucking idiot. Easy street. That's what past me thought. All I have to do is vanish for 14 days, right? Simple. I book a ticket to New Orleans, fly there in the first 12 hours, once there, buy a fancy new car. Then it's a question of where to go. A glimpse of a Where's Waldo book in a bookstore window gives me an idea. Where better to vanish than into a crowd? I purchase tickets to Disney World. Heck, all the worlds. Why not? I'm a millionaire. Under the name D. Sean, since it'll make a good letter to Martha later. Disney, Busch Gardens, Universal, the whole magical package. Deshawn is very, very excited. As for the lady, I'm not worried about her. Why should I be? How's she gonna find me? If she traces the plane ticket, plus the other breadcrumbs I seeded around New Orleans, she'll wind up at one of the several hotels with reservations under the name Jack. Hey, she said to make it a challenge. I'm only on burner phones, and sent my GPS and original phone off with a fake Jack I paid to check in at one of said hotels. I mean, I kinda doubt she's gonna go through with it, but if she does fulfill her wackadoodle bargain, she'll kill fake Jack. Sorry, buddy. And for a couple of days, Deshawn lives it up. First time experiencing a theme park, first time at a 5-star resort. First time feeling that Disney magic, and whoa, really hard not to steal stuff. But Deshawn has got Harvard to think about. Okay, he leaves a couple of stores with swag, plus a giant-sized Stitch stuffed toy. Can't help those sticky fingers. But he gives Stitch to a tiny toddler whose bright smile makes his day. And the roller coasters, such stupendous roller coasters. As a roller coaster virgin, Deshawn absolutely hates them the first 6 times at Busch Gardens. But he's determined to satisfy his inner child, who never got to ride them, and by the 7th try, he finally loves them. He plays the bottle toss, a rigged game designed to rip off park-goers. But because he has literally $1 million, he can buy so many buckets of rings that he forces a win through sheer statistics, and is awarded a giant stuffed tiger and doesn't even have to cheat. It is the best day of my Deshawn's life. Definitely gonna write Martha about this. After devouring an entire bucket of churros, I decide it's time to let Deshawn ride one more coaster. Despite the peril of being so full of sugar and soda. And climb into this giant monstrosity with an interlocking double loop. Everyone screams. The soda and the churros stay down. Barely. I'm on my way out when I see pictures up at the store of all the people screaming on the coaster. Automatic cameras snap these photos for each group. I scan them, looking for a face that might pass for Deshawn so I can send it to Martha. But then my eyes catch on a scruffy 20-something, his hands thrown up, wild hair needing a trim, dark brown eyes wide. His smile huge and exposing that one missing tooth I could never afford to replace. It's the reason I smile crooked. I almost don't recognize myself, I look so happy. But then, looking closer at the picture, I squint. And then I go inside and buy a copy. My heart rate has escalated just a little bit. I try to ignore the thumping as I walk right out of the park. I was originally planning to head to Universal, but instead I find myself meandering along the city walk. That touristy strip of restaurants and shops lining the water. Families with children wander past me, laughing, arguing, chatting. The Hard Rock Cafe is packed, countless voices mingling in a happy babble. I tune it all out, still looking at the picture. In the row immediately behind me on the coaster, in a red tank top and with her face serene, as unruffled as if she were sitting for tea and not on a coaster moving at 70 miles an hour, is the lady. It can only be her. She's looking right at the camera. Right? I realize. At me. As if she anticipated I'd buy this picture and wants me to see her watching. Jack. Ice trickles down my spine. My intestines wind into knots as I turn. She sits on a bench on the boardwalk, wearing the exact same red tank top as in the photo, and a red miniskirt. Her lips curve in a smile, but her eyes have no light in them. Whoa, lady! I feign the biggest smile. Fancy meeting you here? It's the first time I feel genuinely afraid of her.
You're not trying hard enough,
she says, pouting. Well, I did hire a fake double and leave a trail for you to follow in New Orleans. I pause. How did you find me?
You need to try harder,
she says, more seriously now. So, what happens next? I look around at the crowded city walk. What's she gonna do? Murder me in full view of all these bystanders? The entire horde of folks at Hard Rock? The kids throwing bread at the seagulls? I smile at her my most winsome, apologetic smile. I'm afraid I already blew the money. Disney's expensive. So were all those decoys I made for you. So I can't give it back, I'm afraid.
The money's yours.
She stands, hands held demurely in front of her, those long red nails clicking slightly as she pulls her fingers together.
Is this where you're making your last stand?
Last stand? I mean, you're not really going to make a scene in front of all these kids and families? She only smiles. It strikes me suddenly that her lipstick looks very much the color of blood. Okay, I say. How about I maybe hide better this time? You're right, I wasn't taking you seriously enough. This time, though, I'll use my very best tricks to make absolute sure you can't find me. How about it? I do want you to get your money's worth. She clicks her tongue.
Very well.
Great. Well, bye then.
But Jack...
I stop as I'm retreating from her.
Next time I catch you, I'm going to have to take something from you. You're not taking this seriously enough. You're a fox that thinks I'm just playing a little game, that we're friends and all this is just for fun. But for you, it's not. I'll have to show you my teeth.
She flashes a grin. I squint. Aren't you showing them now? She just laughs. I swear, her teeth look pointier. Disney World was, in retrospect, an easy guess. Give a guy $1 million and let him go anywhere in the world. Where else is he gonna try to get lost in a crowd while throwing money away? It was too obvious. So for my next disappearing act, I decided to swing to the opposite end of the spectrum and go completely off-grid. I drive around the coast until I find a guy with a houseboat. Boat's not even for rent. I flash some cash and rent it from him. Drive the thing along the coast and spend a couple of days living that boat life. See some dolphins, feed some seagulls. It's not bad, actually. Plus, there's no cameras. No traffic lights, or tolls, or witnesses, or much of anything. Heck, even an actual bloodhound couldn't find me, because I'm out on the waves. And after 2 days of quiet, I start to relax. I even go for a walk on the beach and look for shark's teeth. I've made sure to avoid all the touristy popular spots. I don't even think this beach has a name. Or if it does, I don't know it. And if I don't know where it is, how is she going to find it? I have a bottle in my hand and drink from it occasionally, the light buzz of my cheaply made lukewarm pina colada, a poor man's version of the 5-star drink I'd be getting if I were still at the resort. But hey, I tell myself, the sea is the same sea and the waves are the same waves.
I agree.
What? She comes right out of the water! How she heard me muttering to myself under my breath when she was hiding under the waves, I have no idea. How long has she been lying in wait at the shoreline? Was she holding her breath? Did she have a snorkel? Fuck! How did she even find me here, at this beach? A mile or so up the shore. A mile or so away from the boat. Fuck. In my windbreaker, I'm carrying a gun. So easy to get in Florida. I bought this from a kid who, I swear, was like 13. I pull it out, intending only to threaten her away. But suddenly she's running at me and my brain goes into fight or flight and I fire. Why the hell do I fire? At an unarmed woman? The bullet doesn't even graze her. The shot goes wide. Then she disarmed me, and the cold barrel of a gun is at my temple. It's so fast, so ungodly fast. I wait for the blam. But no, she tosses the gun aside, smiling. And then she grips my arm. I shriek. Holy Jesus, her claws! They're tearing! Oh God, oh God, oh God! And then my arm is flopping limply because she's torn something. Jesus Christ, so much blood! Is it possible to die from pain? I'm gonna die from pain! Oh God, let me faint! And all the while, the small clever jackal part of my brain that is always figuring out the next move whispers, what can tear a human arm like that? Look at her shadow. And it's true. There's something wrong with her shadow. It doesn't match her movements. The claws are the shadows. And the absurd idea comes to my mind that she is somehow only a projection. Like a profile pic. And the shadow is the real hunter that has just torn open my arm and is hungry. And worse than hungry, bored.
You're not trying hard enough, Jack.
Fuck me. I gasp. And then I'm on my back. The gritty sand warm against my skin and the sky spinning above me. Oh, the Florida clouds are so beautiful. Stop, Jack. Jack, get it together. But my alcohol-addled brain is spinning the world like a top. I squirm, but she has me pinned, her hot breath on my neck. And as terrified as I am, the touch of her skin almost melting into mine is so very, very warm. And it's such a confusing cocktail of emotions for my inebriated brain. I really can't think. Her lips part. She leans down as if she's going to kiss me. I feel the prickle of her shadow claws on my bare skin. On my chest. And her soft lips pressed to the skin of my neck and oh no, it's not a kiss. She's about to rip my throat out. Hey, what's going on down there? In a flash, she's gone. There's a splash. A scolding old man runs breathlessly across the sand, his lobster-red sunburned skin wrinkled and scaly. Not my favorite beach buddy, but in that moment I could have kissed him, tongue and all. Hell, come here, buddy. What the fuck are you doing? He steps back when I try to lean up to him. I'm not sober, okay? This is a public beach, you know. You can't go around doing indecent stuff. He grumps. I completely agree. Thank you so much for pointing that out to me. I gasp. Seriously, thank you. Where'd she go? He looks around, perplexed. Hell, I hope she stays there. I fall back into the sand. What happened to your arm? Gasps the old man. Shark attack. I manage. Need a better plan. A much better plan. Gotta run. Harder, better, faster, stronger. The old dude helps me to my feet. I stagger with him up the sand, glancing over my shoulder to look back once at the shore. She stands in the water and raises an arm and waves. I try to give her the finger, but it's weak. I know it's weak. I'm weak. I wasn't ready for this. And yeah, it's clear to me now that I fell for the oldest trick in the proverbial book. That I fell hook, line, and sinker for the pretty face and the red dress, that's all just that shadow thing's version of a catfishing profile pic. And I'm a fucking idiot who, frankly, has pulled the same trick enough times I should have seen it coming. And now, I've got Lady Blood, Hound, from hell on my heels. But this jackal's got teeth too. So, yeah. Those assassins I mentioned. Well, what else do you think I'm gonna do with $1 million? But it's not gonna be enough. I already know it's not enough. And that's why I'm posting here. I've got a pretty unusual problem. Gonna need a pretty unusual solution. So, how do I escape? How do I make it out alive for 7 more days? There are no bad ideas here, folks. And I'll pay back anyone whose plan keeps me alive, with whatever money I have left. So, please, 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 for God's sakes, help me.